Anyone who has been selling jewelry or selling their products for a long period of time know that sometimes things go their way and completely blow their mind, which is awesome. And this is all about getting over the fear of putting yourself out there and just doing the dang thing anyway, even in spite of fear. Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to invite you to a brand new free masterclass called the 5-Step Holiday Sales Playbook. I'll be handing over my 5-step system to you, which has helped me make millions of dollars in jewelry sales over the years. It's exactly how we train our top tier brands to grow their sales every year, especially during the holiday season. Now, I know how challenging it is to grow jewelry sales when you have so much to do to run your business, especially at this time of the year. That's why I'm handing over my 5-step playbook for free on this 90-minute masterclass. I'm going to be sharing with you how Lindsey 2x her sales during some of the slower months of the year just by following this system. And I'm also going to share with you how Heather tripled her sales over this time last year, and we haven't even hit the holiday season yet. So if you're ready to adopt better habits, double your sales, and escape overwhelm in 30 days or less using this holiday sales system, head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/sales playbook to save your seat for free. It's available for a limited time, so check it out right away. Hey there, it's Tracy here, Chief Visionary Officer, Flourish and Thrive. Welcome to the Thrive by Design podcast. I'm excited to be here today. I'm recording this episode right after our incredible week that we just had. I hosted a mastermind here for a small group of jewelry business owners. I think we had maybe 18 or 20 people there and some very special guests. And we had a blast. In fact, you are going to get some behind the scenes of all of this. I just did a live last week or a couple of weeks ago about this. And I'm going to be sharing with you over the coming weeks a few behind the scenes. We also recorded some live podcasts on that mastermind and so much more. Now, one of the things that I love doing when we get a group together in a mastermind format is spending time planning, because I know as jewelry business owners and as busy people who are, doing all the things in their business, sometimes that planning aspect really falls by the wayside and you don't take the time to do it. And we are heading into October right now. And if you haven't fully fleshed out and thought through your holiday season planning, now, if you're a more advanced jewelry business owner and marketer, you're like, duh, Tracy, I had this done in August. But if you're someone who is a little bit scrambly and last minute, maybe I can put myself in that bucket sometimes. You need to get this plan now, because if you don't have the rest of your year planned and you don't understand what needs to happen, you're going to have basically a lot of chaos during the holiday sales season. And so I wanted to walk you through my 5-step planning process. This is exactly what we do at retreats in my masterminds and exactly what we teach inside of our programs. And if you want to learn a little bit more about this in detail, I share a lot more in detail in a brand new masterclass that I'm hosting called the 5-Step Holiday Sales Playbook that's going to be available for a limited time. And I'm going to share with you how we teach people how to plan and execute amazing sales strategies. So you can use this for the holiday season, but it actually works all the time. And this planning strategy is one of those things that it's like a wash, rinse, repeat. And it's great to be accountable for it, but also something that you're always going to be using in your business. So I want to walk you through this in just a moment. Before I do, I just want to share a little bit more about the mastermind that we just hosted. So every single year, at least once a year, if not more than once, I host mastermind groups, and I love getting groups of designers and creatives together. Not everyone there was a jewelry designer, but they were either a jewelry business owner, some sort of product business owner, or someone who was a creative business owner, I guess is the best way to put it. The theme of this retreat was magnetic marketing, and we had a blast. I had some great speakers, including my friend Felicia Romero, who came in to talk a lot about how to utilize Instagram and create content that really captivates your audience. My friend Stephanie Dorworth came in and talked about basically content creation, literally the act of creating captivating videos. So Felicia more talked about like the logistics of how to filter your content through a content filter when you're creating a sales strategy. Steph was much more tactical. In fact, we even did a content creation day. That was so much of a blast. My friend Blair came in, Blair Kaplan's Venable, who is also one of our coaches at Flourish and Thrive. And she talked about how to amplify your messaging and use that to pitch yourself for all sorts of things. So that was quite remarkable. We had a blast. And then my new friend, Alicia Citro, came in and talked about higher self habits. We're going to be dropping her podcast later in the season. And I'm really excited about this because she just launched a new book. It's amazing. And we talked all things getting into better habits when it comes to growing yourself and releasing those limiting mindset beliefs that we all have and those things that actually hold us back. So super great retreat. If you're interested in learning more about working with me and being in a mastermind situation, please reach out to me personally on Instagram because I'm going to be sharing probably over the coming weeks how I'm curating groups for 6 and 7 figure business owners. So if you fall into that bucket and you want to work in a high vibe group and work with me for a year, I got you. And we got this. So let's do this. Let me dive into this 5-step holiday planning process. When I think of this, I always think of that old analogy, like, how do you eat an elephant? Well, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. And it starts with getting really clear, like, what is the big elephant that we're trying to create? So the planning process, my first step of creating a really solid plan is really understanding, like, what is your vision for this holiday season? Are you someone who wants to like go big or go home? Do you have some personal things that you're dealing with that you want to just like figure out how to strategically make those sales and focus on just a few revenue streams or a few channels? Or are you someone who wants to try it all and build like a multi-revenue stream empire and try to get sales coming in from all of those places? So you need to have a vision for the quarter, a vision for your holiday season. Like, what are you going to do? And that vision requires a theme. So I want you to sit down now and write, like, what is my vision for the quarter? Like, what do I want to create? Is it that I want to try to really amplify my Instagram this holiday season? Is it that I want to do as many in-person events as I possibly can and use that to build my email list? And then as it gets closer to the holiday, the Christmas and Jewish holidays, I just start emailing that list. Is it that I really want to try to pull off an epic Black Friday sale or event? So get clear on like what the theme is, the overall theme. Like, what is it that you're trying to create from a big picture perspective? If you can dial that in to one word, awesome. So your theme might be revenue, it might be sales, it might be exposure, it might be growth, it might be, I don't know, amplification of your message or whatever it is that you're doing. Then when you have that vision or that theme of what you're trying to create, then you want to break that down into goals. And so every single holiday season person that I talk to, one of the things that I really want them to think about is, what is your sales goal for the holiday season? Because that's the most important part of it. And then you can reverse engineer all the other initiatives around that. So we typically start with 3 projects. One of them is revenue driven, and then the rest probably typically are going to support the revenue. I know when I was selling to stores back in the day, one of my initiatives during the holiday season was to create my new spring collection for the January shows. So if you're selling wholesale, obviously that's also going to be an initiative. So think about your 3 major projects. Maybe if the projects are smaller, you can have 4. Typically we start with 3 and then we work on those over the course of 90 days. So the next step of this, so we start with the vision, that's step 1. Step 2 is to create the strategy that supports the vision. So you have your sales goals, you have your other initiatives that you're trying to create. That strategy is really the big picture, that overarching theme that's going to support that vision. And these are the things, okay, so strategies would include like, I'm going to book 10 retail shows during the holiday season to reach my sales goal of XYZ. I'm also going to have an email marketing campaign where I send 3 emails out a week over the course of the next 3 months to reach my online sales goal of XYZ. So those would be bigger strategies. It might be setting up automated funnels to follow up with people after your shows so that you can set them in a sequence. Another strategy might also be sending out a guest wish list or a gift list to anyone who's already on your email list so that they reach out to you. So maybe you even have a wish list party. This is a strategy that Joya Jewelry shared with me a while ago, where she would have a bunch of her best customers come in and actually tell her exactly what they wanted for the holiday season. Then she would ask them for the contact info of their spouse or whoever was going to give them the gift. And then she would basically reach out to them and use that as an opportunity to sell her jewelry and be proactive in her sales process. So there's a lot of different initiatives that you can pull off The next step of this is to think of the strategy. What are the things that you want to do on a bigger picture level to build the sales funnel, to build the opportunities to actually make the sales that you desire? Now, the next step to this, step number 3 of your 5-step holiday planning system, is all about tactics. So typically you're going to focus on maybe 3 to 5 strategies that are going to support your sales goals. Those tactics are the things that you're going to actually do to support the strategy. So for instance, let's say that you wanted to build a post-show sales funnel that you can send people in to after you do a retail event that actually sells them more jewelry or offers them a discount or thanks them for their order, whatever it might be. But these sales funnels typically should continue to sell on the process. And you wanted to create a 6-part email series. So the first step, the tactics would look like this. You want to map out your sales funnel. You want to understand, like, how are you going to get people on that email list? You want to basically map out what each of those emails is going to say. And then you're going to write the emails. Then you're going to set up the tech. Then you're going to test it. Then you're going to start driving traffic to it. Does that make sense? So those would be the tactics that back up the strategy. So I want you to take each of those strategies that you created and then list out all of the tactics or the initiatives that you're going to need to do in order to reach the sales goal and support the strategy that's going to support that bigger vision to help you grow. So as you can see, we're kind of breaking all this down. Now, I highly recommend getting all of this into a project management tool. That's what this is all about. So make sure that when you're breaking things down, that you're really specific on the little steps that need to happen in order to make this work for you. The 4th step of the holiday planning system is all about execution. Now, people come to me all the time and ask me this question: Tracy, what are revenue generating activities? Well, your revenue generating activities are the things that you do to execute your plan. So you can have a vision, you can have goals, you can have a strategy, you can write out all the tactics, you can set up a project plan and all these things. But if you aren't actually taking the physical actions and executing the revenue generating activities that are going to help you make that money, well, guess what? You aren't going to make the money. So the tactics are actually the revenue generating activities, but the execution of those revenue generating activities is the thing that is actually going to make you money. Now, I got a message from, I love sharing stories of our students, and you may have heard me talk about this before, but I got a message from one of our students, Hannah, who learned revenue generating activities from me a while back. And she sent me a message basically saying, Tracy, my business has exploded this year. I've basically made 3 times what I did last year at this time. I finally have a 6-figure business. I am beside myself. And she sent me a couple of voice notes about this little process that she did. And I was so excited for her. And I said to her, hey, Hannah, what did you do? And she just one acronym that she sent back, RGAs, baby. And it's true. When you get into a habit of regular daily revenue generating activities, these sales tactics that are going to support you in your long-term vision and goals, then everything is possible. So those are the things that are actually going to make you sales. So that execution piece needs to be built into your calendar. So part of getting your holiday sales plan to work for you is scheduling time with those revenue generating activities and creating focused time for execution. You must do this or your plan will not thrive. Now, the 5th step of this holiday sales planning system is all about being inside the mindset of sales. Anyone who has been selling jewelry or selling their products for a long period of time know that sometimes things go their way and completely blow their mind, which is awesome. And this is all about getting over the fear of putting yourself out there and just doing the dang thing anyway, even in spite of fear, because that fear is the thing that is going to hold you back. So moving through the fear and actually just doing the work. So something happens in our brain when things go our way. Something happens in our brain when things don't go our way. Now, when things are going our way, we know that dopamine's released and we have a great experience and we want to do more of that. And we're really excited and we feel motivated and we're just continually on an ongoing basis, just focusing on the things that we did that actually helped us grow, right? But what happens when things don't go our way? What do you do in that space? Do you decide to engage in the story of what's happening when something didn't go your way? Or are you willing to approach things from a place of curiosity? Now, we know modern day psychology, like you can read about this. I'm not the first to invent this, but we do know that over time, we are programmed. We have a lot of beliefs that are ingrained in us from a very early age. And basically, the reason why this happens is because we have an experience in our life and we put meaning to that. We place a meaning on something that happens. That meaning causes an emotion. That emotion creates an action. That action gets us a result. Does that make sense? So something happens. We create a story around it. That story causes an emotion. That emotion creates a result, or an action, and that action creates a result. So I want you to really be mindful of what happens when you are in a space of, now one of the most important things is I want you to be insanely aware what happens when things don't go your way. Because if you start engaging in a negative spiral and a negative story that takes you down this road of creating a story, a belief about yourself, having an emotion that's negative, and then doing something that's going to foster a result that's not going to get you what you actually want, think about it this way. But what if you were to approach things from a place of curiosity, knowing that if you were just to shift your mindset around what happened, thinking let's say you had a crappy show. That show didn't foster the result. Instead of being like, oh, I suck, no one wants my jewelry. Oh, maybe that wasn't the right show where my dream clients were shopping. So instead of feeling bad about yourself, you could approach this from a place of curiosity and excitement, because you decide, instead of getting down on yourself, investigating better shows or better places where your dream clients might be hanging out. That gets you into a action, right? Of actually doing something about that, researching new shows, signing up for a show that maybe has a better audience. And then you might get a better result, because guess what? You're doing a show where people actually want to buy your jewelry. Or let's say you try posting on social media. You are posting every day. Your Instagram posts aren't getting engagement and you're not making any sales. Well, instead of feeling bad saying Instagram won't work for me, maybe you approach this from a place of curiosity and you join something like the Jewelry Marketing Collective, where we teach you how to create engaging content that actually translates into sales and growth. And you learn how to create captions, how to create content that actually is going to get engagement. You start to see your numbers rise. You start to pay attention to what's happening in those posts. You start to see a sales result because of that, because you're actually approaching an original negative outcome from a place of curiosity by being a learner. And guess what? The result is that you start growing your email list, you start learning how marketing works together, and your sales start growing. It's quite a different approach to growing your business and getting into a space where, I don't know, anything can grow for you. So I wanted to mention that because the mindset of sales is one of the most important pieces of you actually growing a thriving, robusting holiday season of sales, I guess is the best way to put this. But at the end of the day, the only way that you're going to get the result that you want is if you actually are curious about how to get there. And so if you're someone who wants a little bit more accountability, let me share a couple of stories with you of people who actually did this for themselves. So we have a designer in our community. Her name is Lindsey, the Ladysmith. She was just at this mastermind retreat, and she was sharing her story about how we were doing these sales challenges inside of our Jewelry Marketing Collective community. This was really the thing that inspired it. We wanted to support people in focusing on their growth. And so inside the JMC, we host these challenges that were inspired by something that we did in our momentum community. So Lindsey decided to take the challenge for 10K in May and grow her business, actually focus on having a $10,000 month. She didn't think it was possible. All the mindset things were coming up for her. May is a slow month for me. No one shops in May. The most I've ever done in my business is 8,600 last holiday season. That was my best month ever. There's no way in my small Midwestern town that I am going to be able to do $10,000 doing what I usually do and when people aren't paying attention to me. That's how she started the month. She saw what was happening to herself. She, listened to what we say about the mindset of sales. And she's like, you know what? I'm just going to try this. I'm going to go all in and see what happens. So she created the vision. She created the strategy. She did the tactics. She focused on execution, getting all those things down. She wasn't totally paying attention to the numbers the entire time, which is a good thing to do, just so that you can see your progress. 3 days before May ended, she had already hit the $10,000 marker and ended up having a $12,000 month because she had 3 more days left. She was beside herself. So she decided to go all in June too, and has continued to do this almost every single month. She did take the month of July since then and is now on track to have her first 6-figure year. She shared this story because I've said, Lindsey, what did you do? And she does a lot of selling outside of the back of her car. She has a combination of a email marketing strategy, a social media strategy, and an in-person sales strategy. So she leverages those 3 strategies to grow her business. She's a one-woman show. She's doing all of this herself right now. And she said, I hated getting emails, and I know you guys say to send all these emails, and I don't want to do it. But she's like, I trusted you, and I sent some emails, and I started sending more emails than I expected. And guess what? Just because I didn't want to get emails from people doesn't mean that other people don't want to get emails. And people are on my email list because they want to hear from me and buy my products. And guess what? I sold so much jewelry because of that my business just keeps growing. And so one of the things that I want to remind you is that when you can shift your mindset, especially when you have limiting beliefs about what you think your customers want from you, everything will shift for you. And it's quite remarkable. And so this is just an invitation for you to do something different. And if you are someone who wants to get a great result and you want to see your business grow, I'd love to invite you to join us for our next holiday sales challenge that's happening inside of the JMC. You're going to hear a post-roll message about this whole thing. It is our sales community. It's $97 a month. If you join for a year, you get 2 months for free. And also the results that our students are getting inside of that community is remarkable. We are about to launch into a holiday sales challenge right now. And you can get in today. If funds are tight, get in for $97 because we want to support you in getting this done. If you join and you pay in full for an entire year, we promise to make it worth your while, then we're going to give you the Ultimate Holiday Sales Machine bundle for free. It is basically our templated Black Friday sales bundle, but you can use this for any holiday that you have. So if you want to use it for Valentine's Day or Mother's Day, same system works for any holiday that you have. And you get that as a bonus. It's valued at $197. So head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/JMC and get into the Jewelry Marketing Collective today. It is game-changing. Our students are getting such a great result. Danielle says that we are above average inside of our Klaviyo on every single metric above our peers. We drive a lot of revenue through our email list, so this was really validating. Also, we got a message from another woman named Tara inside the group. She said, I just checked my stats on social since joining this group. My Pinterest impression is up 644%, and my audience is up 524%. My Facebook impressions are up 33%, and my reach is up 80%. My Instagram accounts reach is up 286%, and engaged accounts is up 129%. I am blown away. I have almost made over $1,000 on the first day of my promotion beside myself. This is when she set up her email series. So I'm telling you, we are here to help you make you money. If you're someone who wants to grow your business online, especially if you have other revenue streams as well, or even if you don't, we are here to make you money. Let me share another one with you. This is someone who actually was like, I don't know if this stuff works, Tracy. Like, I don't believe it. And I'm like, just give us a chance. Like, let us help you. And she's like, I cannot believe it. My sales, I sold $1,000. She said, this is the first time I have set up email automations. I made over $1,500. My goal was to do 1,000, but I hit my second goal of doing 1,500. It's not extremely huge, but it's a lot bigger than what I've done in the past and what I was expecting. This has changed my life. So I want to share with you that we are here to support you. Can you imagine just making passive revenue, a couple thousand extra dollars a month, just by setting up your email flows, getting into a regular promotion strategy, getting the accountability and support in our group? We want to support you, so get inside the JMC now if you want that support. Plus, we're going to be walking you through this holiday planning system that I just taught and help you create your plan for yourself. So let's do this. Thanks so much for listening today. Ciao for now. Have you heard about the Jewelry Marketing Collective? It's our sales-focused membership community that's designed to help you unlock more sales, increase your website traffic, grow your email list, and build an engaged social media following. The way the membership works is that each month we release a sales challenge and break down the exact steps you need to make more sales. Our next challenge is happening soon, and it's our holiday sales promotion and content creation challenge, followed by our Black Friday sales push. So if you'd like to join us for the Jewelry Marketing Collective and have a step-by-step strategy on how you can sell more this holiday season, head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/JMC for more details.